Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. It's Anita Haines here in my Stamp with Anita group. But I'm excited to come on this evening to share this card. Cute little card with a fun fold. Let me go ahead and I'm going to flip my camera down to my table. Here's a close-up of the card. I actually did this as a swap recently for a swap that I participated in, and I absolutely love it, and I've been dying to share it. So just a really fun card. So let me go ahead and pull the packet over. I'll pull all the pieces and parts out of here. I want to share with you the paper that I'm using on here first. So this paper here, it looks really subtle on the edges here, but it is this really fun paper, which is actually part of this suite that has this butterfly, has this beautiful paper. Look at this. Bokeh. Bokeh? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Beautiful bokeh. So it's kind of that technique that happens like when you're kind of taking a photograph and you've got lights, like especially Christmas lights, and it kind of blurs and it turns into this like really cool method with the bubbles. And so it's got beautiful colors. So let me look on the back here so I don't get it wrong. It's got the balmy blue, berry burst, calypso coral, daffodil delight, and fresh fuchsia. So perfect. Sorry, I bumped the camera. Perfect for spring. So one side, I mean, has that, look at that one, Bokeh's look, and then the other side is like splattered paint. So just really fun paper. So we're using the calypso coral out of this. So I wanted to just share where that came from. So here's my pieces and parts. One of the other cool things that we're using out of here, which did I lose? I'm looking for the ribbon. I thought I cut it, but I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Duh. It's so fun. So it comes in a huge spool of this gold, what do they call this? Open weave trim, but light and airy, and it just adds a little detail to this card. So I'm going to share about that. These are my pieces and parts. I already cut these pieces. This is out of the cardstock I shared with you, and this is 1 inch by 4 inches, and I've got 2 of those. This piece is just a piece of the calypso coral that I ran through this new folder, which I absolutely love. Something waves is what it's called. And it's a nice big folder. And I ran it through already. And this piece is like, I want to say 3 by 4 inches. This is going to be the base. And I used the thick cardstock for the, thick cardstock for the base, and it's just a quarter sheet of cardstock, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this piece is cut like 3 1/4 wide by 8 1/2 and scored in half at 4 1/4. So it's going to end up going on here like this. And then this is our scrap piece we're going to stamp on, and then this is a die cut piece, which let me pull over. This is part of a bundle that coordinates with this awesome stamp set. So what is so cool about this is not only do we have this folder, it's called a hybrid, and I'm going to share with you why. It's got this cool folder, but it also has, I'm going to move these pieces out of the way, it also has these dies that I'm going to pull out. I just absolutely love these. So many dies. So this is the one that we're going to be using, but it's got these additional butterflies in here, another frame for a word, and then these are so cool. It's got this beautiful butterfly. It's got this one that works with the folder, and I'll show you that. And then it's got this huge one that you can actually do folds where the butterfly will flip up. So just lots of fun ways to use this, and that's why it's called a hybrid, because it goes, when you order it, you get both of the dies and this folder. So I'm going to keep this one out because we're going to use it. The reason this is called a hybrid is because this butterfly die sits in here, and it just kind of nestles itself. It locks in there. And then when you run this through, it will not just do the embossing, but it'll die cut that, that butterfly out, which is super, super cool. So what I want to show you is how we're going to do that. I'm going to start with this, which is just a piece of scrap. And I've got my butterfly and my colors that we're using. I'm taking them, I took the Calypso Coral right from the DSP, and also the Daffodil Light is in there too. But Calypso Coral, we're going to open that up. And we're also going to open up this Daffodil Delight. There we go. So I have found when you're using a huge image like this, it's almost better to take the stamp, or the ink pad, I'm sorry, and stamp it onto, tap it, tap, 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 onto the image. And I just totally did that wrong. But, but anyway, that gives you a really good, I'm just going to show you how it looks solid. It gives you a really good impression. And stamp it straight down like so. So you get a really good, you know, a really good inked image. But what I actually meant to do was stamp that in my, in the yellow. So let me pull out another scrap so we do it correctly. I'm actually going to clean this off because I don't want my Calypso Coral to get inside onto my Daffodil Delight ink pad. All right, now that we got that cleaned off, let's start over here. I'm going to take the Daffodil Delight and I'm going to, again, pat it on there. And I'm going to go ahead and set it aside. And then I'm going to take the Calypso Coral along with a sponge dauber, or you could even use, let's see, if you had our blending brushes, you could use a blending brush. But I found for this one, the dauber works great. Plus it fits on my finger really nicely. So I just tap it onto the ink pad, and then I take it and I just sponge on where I want that Calypso Coral. So I did down the center, and I'm just going to kind of go out into the center of the wings. So there we have it. Move that aside. And now I'm going to take that and stamp it down onto my scrap paper. Lift that up. And then I've got this almost Calypso, you know, varied color. I just love it. So here's the difference. They both would look really cute on this card. This would look really cute. It'd be more monochromatic if I were to cut that out and use it. But this one just adds a little bit of flair, a little bit of fun to the image. So we're going to use this one. Now, what I could do one of two things. One, I could just take this die and it matches up. Actually, let me stick my readers on so I can see that a little better. It matches up really well. And I could just take that and run it through my stamp and emboss cut machine. And it would just cut this image out just like this. Okay. The other thing I could do is I could take this then and I could put it, match it up into the folder like so. So this is the folder, and I could run this through and it will now emboss it. But I kind of do both at the same time. What I typically do is I take this and this. I go ahead and nestle this in here. Now you have to really pay attention to what you're doing when you do this. But I nestle it in there and I hold on to it. I stick my cardstock on there. I flip it over because I don't want that die to move. And I adjust this. Again, I'm just matching that butterfly up to the folder. And once I have that lined up, I'll go ahead and run that through just like that. And so not only am I cutting the butterfly out, but it's also going to emboss it at the same time. Again, you can do that like that, or if that makes you nervous, just go ahead and cut it out first. Cut it out and then put it in your folder and run it through. And when you do that, you end up with this. And I know in the camera, you probably can't really see a lot of the difference. Here's the one that's just stamped. trying to get that on there. And then this one has been stamped and embossed. Can you see that little definition there where it's lifted a little bit? I think you can see that. So it's just really cool. And in person, maybe if I put these together, maybe you can see the difference there. In person, you can definitely see the difference, and there's a texture on there. So it's super cool. Love this. And we're going to use, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and use this one. I'm going to set these aside. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. That's really the only work on here is doing that. The other thing was running this through that wave folder. So that's simple enough. So this is the base right here. And what I like to do first is put down the little 1-inch strips on either side. And you could use the Bokeh side, or you could use this splattered side. Either way, I kind of like the Bokeh side. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I got Clark hair in here. That's my cat, by the way. I'm going to put this, and I'm going to leave a little bit of an edge, like 1/8 an inch. You just match up the side with, you know, the top and bottom there. So it's even all the way around. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's about 1/8 of it. It should be about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to stick that down like so. And then this just gets nestled right in the center. So that makes it easy. I like to put that. Uh-oh, I'm out of, I don't know if I'm out of adhesive here. Oh, I'm out of adhesive. So let me go ahead. We're going to switch it up to my handy dandy liquid glue, which never leaves me hanging. So, and then like I said, this goes right into the center of that, and it should just line up right there, like so. Nice thing about that, you got a few minutes to move it around. It looks like I need to shove it up a little bit. But here you go. So it's ready to go. This piece then just gets layered right there. And you could put this down on either side of the texture, whichever side you want to do. It does, on the camera, that it probably, let me get this up here so you guys can see what I'm doing. You can't really tell the difference maybe, but when you see it in person, you can tell the different sides of the folders do look different. So this gets centered right here. Ta-da. Like so. Opens up like that. And then for the rest of the card is going to be this fun butterfly. And the other thing is our little verbiage. So let's pull that down. Again, this was a die that was in that set. So I'm going to take it, and if you notice on this, the happy birthday is actually in one line right here, which I had seriously thought about cutting this, but I was going to show you how to stamp this when it's just when you want to just do part of it. So you can do one of two things. You can just stamp right on the pad like that, or you could put a Post-it note over here. Since this is pretty good, clean, I'm going to go ahead and just stamp that. So I'm going to try to get it in the center on the top. And I missed it just a little bit. And then let me go ahead and clean this off. I'll show you how to fix this too. One of two things. I could take a marker. Do you see where I kind of misstamped that? I could take a marker, or we have magic paper at Stampin' Up. You just flip it over and start over. No lie. So let's make sure, yes, I'm looking to see if I actually have it inked all the way. And we're going to try this again. Perfect! Don't you love that magic paper, that two-sided paper? All right, and then I'm going to clean this off really good because I don't want any of that ink to get on there. And then now, oops, I'm going to take, and I'm just going to carefully stamp it here. like so. Checking it just to make sure. And then I'm going to stamp it straight down, trying to center it. There you go. Happy birthday. Let's clean this again. All right. Now I'm going to share what I'm going to do with this fun stuff. This trim is what they're calling it. I'm actually going to take I'm actually going to use a dimensional. Sometimes I use my Stamp and Seal Plus, but since I'm out of that, let's grab some dimensionals here. And I'm just going to kind of scrunch it up and fold it so it almost looks like it's like little wings. And I'm going to stick it down here. And I'm actually just going to stick a dimensional right on top of it. Oops. I'm hoping that that's going to stick to the butterfly through there. Doesn't look like it wants to. So let's add you know what? I think what might be better with this is actually, I'm going to pull this back off. I think what's going to be better is to actually use a glue dot. So let's do that instead. Like I said, usually I just run some of the, but I'm not sure if I have a refill on that. So let's do a glue dot. I think the glue dots will work. So I'm going to put a few back here since I'm going to be going through one more. It's much easier if I had my Stamp and Seal working. So, all right. We just got to keep going, right, ladies? All right. Oh, I can see people. I see my sister hopped on. Hello, Ronalda. I'm so glad you hopped on. Okay, I'm going to scrunch this one from here. I wish she lived closer. She could be in my studio stamping with me. That'd be so cool. So there, that worked. Can you see that? It's just a little detail that's just, I don't know, it's just a little something, but it adds so much to it. And then what I'm going to do is add those dimensionals. And I'm going to go ahead and stick those on top of that. That way those don't slide around or come off of there for some reason. I'm also going to stick some up here on the wings. Here we go. All right, that's probably overkill, but I don't care. We want to make sure it doesn't come apart, right? So then the butterfly is just simply going to be attached. And I just realized something else. Okay, so do as I say, not as I do. If I were to flip this over, then these dimensionals that I stuck up here on this top are going to be outside of this little flip up. So hopefully they're not stuck down too hard. Okay, so I'm going to move them inside a little bit. It's kind of funny because I literally made like back in the end of December when I did my swap with this, I made like over 20 of these cards. And you would think I don't know what I'm doing, but I really have made that many of these. So there we go. So what I was saying is now the dimensionals aren't going to show when it flips up like that. So can you see that little bit of fun with that gold trim? I just love it. And then we're going to put our happy birthday. We're going to add that with dimensionals onto the butterfly. And oops, we're just going to stick it right about there. It's just going to be centered on there. And then let's go ahead and stamp the inside. This stamp set is great because not only does it have these beautiful butterfly images, it has this gorgeous words that are in here. I love the combination of the serif type with the script, and then it's got some other smaller, even just that cute little hello. I just love it. We're going to use Time to Celebrate since it's a birthday card. I'm going to pull my Calypso Coral back in. We're going to tap, 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 and simply stamp it right there. Isn't that pretty? It looks like a butterfly, the way it's just skipping across the page there. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean that off. And then I think what I'm going to do too is add the little butterfly, which I don't think I pulled out. So let's pull him out. So here's the stamp set. These are this one's a photopolymer, so it's great because it's completely see-through. Makes it a lot easier to stamp. I've got that. I'm going to set it down. I got a clear block, so it's stuck on there. And then I'm just going to do the same technique that I did on the outside card. So I stamped it in the Daffodil Delight, and then I took the little dauber and just into that Calypso Coral and just added a little bit to that. And then I'm going to take it and just stamp it right up here. But isn't that fun? Can you see that, where it just has varied coloring to it? And let me close this up. Oh, actually, you know what? We have an envelope. So let's pull this in. And since we have the ink out, and let's go ahead and stamp that, and then I'll finish the card. Open that back up. Ah! All right, so we got the envelope. I'm trying to look. We also have this stamp on here. So I could literally, let's pull this one off. And we'll also add that to a block. And we'll do the same thing. Ink it up. Use my sponge dauber. Add some color. And actually, I'm going to put that on the back right here. Like so. Isn't that cute? And then we'll do this other one that we did on the inside. We'll add that on the front. Oh, sorry. I'm out of the camera here. Just adding. And we'll put that one maybe down here. And you know what would be fun? Especially if you're sending this out to somebody. I just love this little hello. So I'm pulling that off of here. And put that on a block. And I'll just do that in the Calypso. Isn't that the cute? Who wouldn't want to get a card like that? Seriously. All right, let's close these up. So there's the envelope. Super cute. So last but not least, to finish this card up, we are going to add some bling. And on my sample card, I don't know if you look at this, I used these right here, and these are the neutral adhesive back sequins. There's all kinds of different gems and things that we could use. I'm out of, I only have one of the golds, but this little copper works really well too. So I'm going to use that. Let's pull these out. So here they are. And let's see, we're going to add, there's large sizes and smaller sizes. So we'll put one, and actually I'm just going to pull this gold one too. We'll have a mixture of colors. How's that? There, and let's put another one down here. So there we have it. Just finishes it off. But isn't that cute? In fact, I have a girlfriend who has a birthday this week, and I think I'm going to work really hard at getting this in the mail. I'm terrible. She is the best at sending me birthday cards, and I'm terrible. I'm so sorry, Liz. I don't think she ever gets on here, but I think I'm going to send this to her. So maybe that's good that she doesn't get on here. But isn't that fun? And it's a simple, a really simple, fun fold. And then there's the cute little envelope with the little flap on the back. So there you have it. There is a quick and simple card. So there you have it. How fun was that? That was so cute. Can you think of someone you'd want to send this to? I could think of lots of people, but you know, it wouldn't have to be a birthday card. It could be a thinking of you. This set has the for you. It has so thankful. So this would make a great little thank you card. or just for you, which could be for anything. Or you could even stamp that little hello and put that in the center there. Or you could just leave the sentiment off, and you could just have the butterfly on the front and then be able to write whatever you want on the inside. So there you go. This was fun. It's good to get back into things. I can't believe it's the end of the month already. But anyway, let me know what you think of this card. And who would you send it to? Thanks for popping in. Bye-bye.